But of course, we're checking out a brand new model today called the Drax. Let's give this thing the spotlight it deserves. Of course, I'll have this one linked down below so you guys can check prices, availability, and variants. And I've partnered with Wixco Knives to give you guys a discount. If you use code Miguel EDC, it will get you 10% discount. Again, code Miguel EDC, it will get you 10% discount. So we got the wiping cloth, we got some paperwork right here. We passionately present high quality knives in a dynamic, youthful style. Join us to explore the alluring beauty of EDC toys. Well, that's an interesting, I said that before, interesting mission statement. And bam, here it is, guys. Here it is, the Drax. Right, kind of reminds me, you know, what's that character's name from Guardians of the Galaxy, right? The one that Batista plays, Drax, right? Is that that's what comes to mind when I see, you know, that name. So let's see what the Drax is all about. Here we go. Right. All right. We got the PP scales on this one, right? That's looking very interesting right there. I will say this, right? And this is something to keep in mind. This happens from time to time when you get a PEI scales type of knife, right? As you can see, this one has, it's transparent, right? Spoiler alert. If you haven't seen PEI or Ultem scales by now, they are transparent. And it was basically the fuss, you know, over the last year or so. We kind of been seeing it dying down a little bit, but we still see some models here and there with Ultem or PEI scales like this one. I'm seeing a little bit of oil there, right, going on both sides. So I might take it apart here after the video and clean it up a bit, because that's just going to drive my OCD insane. But, you know, just keep that in mind. That is absolutely something that can be fixed, right? Sometimes, obviously, they oil these knives, so they are in great condition by the time you get them. And the best thing about this one is, obviously, it's see-through. So we know we got all kinds of speed holes there, right? Milling for weight reduction. In case you ever wanted to know what a crossbar lock functions like, there you go. You can actually see the whole system from within right here. Those are the infamous Omega springs that people either really love, or some people these days are, oh, it's got Omega springs, so you can't have it. Listen, I'm yet to have an Omega spring break on me, right? Some people are like, oh, it must not be a long-lasting knife if it has Omega springs. And up until this point, I mean, I'm going almost 3 years of EDCing crossbar lock knives and not having any issues with a single Omega spring break on any of my crossbar lock knives. So that just tells you, yeah, if that says something, you know, definitely, you know, should not be a concern. So I think some people over exaggerate. But anyways, all that banter out of the way, let's go ahead and get this thing deployed. Let's see what this Drax is all about, shall we? Let's get a quick zoom in here and bam. All right. Check out this beautiful drop point blade right here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to say this. I am going to say this right now. What are we? A couple minutes, 4 minutes-ish into the video. This is a bug out killer. Dare I say. So many knives are going after the Benchmade bug out these days. And this is probably, arguably, the, you know, one of them, right? One of the top ones right there. We got a, you know, a beautiful drop point blade with the switch right there, flat grind, just like the bug out has. Very straightforward, streamlined handle as well. So that's also looking pretty good. It is on a crossbar lock, so gotta dig that. And once I get the tuning right, there we go. How much flick of the wrist it takes to open and close. Oh yeah, that feels really good right off the bat. Thumb deployment feels good. Reverse flick with the nail of my middle finger. I just gotta make sure you clear the index finger, otherwise the thumb stud might catch on your index finger and not open all the way. So let's try that again. There we go. So you got at least those 3 different deployment methods there. Now I'm feeling the Ultem, since it's plain and there's no milling on here, it actually feels surprisingly really grippy. It's not the slippery kind. If anything, the exact opposite, right? Because again, no milling on here, so it grips really good, right? So you got that going right there, right? Obviously, this thing's going to be on ball bearings, so we got some good ball bearing action here. So you're going to drop really nicely on the return. And let's see, ergos. Oh man, this is where it's at. Ergos right here are spot on, no doubt about it, right? Again, you're not locked into any position whatsoever. Pocket clip also does a pretty good job at disappearing. I barely even feel that pocket clip, if at all. So it's a good 9.5 out of 10 right there. With the hammer grip, full purchase. Deep carry pocket clip, but somehow not reversible. I'm not sure why. Seems to me like there is a hole right there for, yeah, there's an extra hole on the liner. right? These are blacked out recessed liners. And I do see the hole, it just doesn't cut through the Ultem for some reason. So maybe some other models do have a reversible pocket clip. This particular one does not. But after all, I mean, a crossbar lock knife is meant to be an ambidextrous friendly knife. So clearly my left hand isn't going to do a great demo because my dexterity left the chat since birth on my left hand. But yeah, you get the idea. If you're a lefty, obviously, you're going to be able to do a much better job than I can. So if I'm able to do this and you're a lefty, I mean, you should be able to enjoy this knife just as much. Again, not sure what happened with the reverse pocket clip. Again, we'll check the other models on the website in a moment, see if they have a reversible clip scenario. Good alignment there, smack in the middle. You guys be the judge there. That's looking pretty good. And yeah, just very, very fidget friendly. EDC here again, it's that, there we go, getting that flick with the middle finger right there. I have to make sure I clear the index finger for, but yeah, all other deployment methods feeling really good. Man, I gotta love a good crossbar lock knife. I get comments sometimes when people are like, oh, it was a great knife until I realized it was a crossbar lock knife. I'm like, listen, you're missing out because, you know, I love a good crossbar knife just as much as the next person. And there's plenty of people who also comment as well saying, hey, you know, I love me a good crossbar lock knife. I love it. And ever since the Access Lock patent from Benchmade expired, I mean, every company out there has been making their own banging crossbar lock version. So got to give them kudos for that. So we have a stop pin for the blade on the open position. That is this guy. All right, let me get you a closer look. All right, you can see it in 4K definition. So that stop pin is all blacked out, maybe a little bit challenging to see. But this guy's going to stop the blade on the open position. This guy right here is going to stop the blade on the closed position so it doesn't hit the standoffs, right? We do have a sandwich construction here with 2 standoffs. So that's the job of this guy, to hold the blade there. So where exactly hits, it actually hits very close to the edge right there. So an argument could be made as far as, you know, longevity and, you know, as you start sharpening the knife more and more down the line, right? Something to keep in mind. But again, this is just a quick overview, right? Quick unboxing, raw first impressions. Bug out killer, right? As we've seen so many of them, it's just a proven recipe. Beautiful drop point blade, right? Great ergos handle, very smooth, very grippy handles on this one. And future me, insert the clip here of having already gone through the knife here and cleaned it up so you guys can see what it looks like without the extra oils on there. All right, well, you guys let me know your thoughts on this one. Again, let me know, what do you love about this one? What do you like about it? What do you love about it? Is there anything you dislike about it? Right, let me know. Let's hang out in the comment section down there. Hope you guys really enjoyed this one. If you made it to the end, you're the real MVP. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care, and I'll see you on the next one. Either this one or this one. Peace.